Hey biologists, today is Unit 1, Day 2. We are specifically talking about two of the major biological molecules, carbohydrates and lipids today. These are both the energy-producing biological molecules that living organisms have that make up what they are. Remember last class we talked about the biomolecules as a whole. So we quickly discussed carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and nucleic acids. But today we're just going to focus on carbs and lipids. The first thing that you see up here are organic compounds as a title. Organic compounds means the same thing as biological molecules. Biological molecules are made up of organic compounds. That is meaning that they have carbon-hydrogen bonds. We spoke about that yesterday as well. All right, so the first type of biological molecule are carbohydrates. The function of carbohydrates are to provide quick energy. When I say quick energy, that means 24 hours. It takes 24 hours to the carbohydrates that you consume to be turned into energy. They also help out with cell structure. So they give the cell structure. So around each cell that makes up a living organism, there are carbohydrates surrounding. The monomer for carbohydrates are known as monosaccharides. Mono means one, saccharide means sugar. Monosaccharide is a monomer. Therefore, if we put many monosaccharides together, we get polysaccharides. Polysaccharides are another name for carbohydrates. All right, we discussed this in the last video about the different atoms that belong in carbohydrates: carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, in a 1:2:1 ratio. Down here, you see a picture of the polymer or carbohydrate or polysaccharide. They all mean the same thing. If we were to look at one of these six-sided rings, this would represent one monomer or one monosaccharide. On the left-hand side, you see all the different examples of carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are in everything, not literally, but things that you wouldn't expect. So fruits, veggies, bread, it's in a lot of stuff, more than just pasta and bread. All right, so here's another example showing you that if we have one monomer, it's called a monosaccharide. If we put two monomers together, we get a disaccharide. Di means two. If we put more than two monomers together, that's many, we call that a polysaccharide. All right, here are our common examples of carbohydrates. The most common example we have is glucose. Glucose is actually a monomer. It is the monomer. So glucose is the same thing as a monosaccharide. Anything that ends in an ose, so glucose, sucrose, fructose, is a sugar. The next example that we have is starch. This is the type of carbohydrate that is found in plants, so anything that grows out of the ground, including potatoes, wheat, corn, celery, etc. Then we have glycogen. Glycogen is the carbohydrates that are found in animals. So my cells, or any carbohydrates that are synthesized in my body, are in the form of glycogen. Lastly, we have cellulose. Cellulose, sugar, is the carbohydrate that gives plants structure. So if you break a leaf, if you break celery, if you break lettuce, anything like that, there's a crunch. That crunch is due to the cellulose. And again, down here, glucose is the most common type of monosaccharide that we have. All right, I'm going to end there for this video.